pre-seed, pre-revenue startup. Make that very clear starting up. So what we try to do is do pre-mortems. We try to recreate a crisis before it happens using full diverse reality as well as data science. We're looking at issues like this. How do you recreate an environment like a school shooting? What happened today, by the way? And how do you decompose it to find out what you can do to prevent it from happening in the real world, or mitigate the effects? Crisis managers are always worried about how do you prepare for a crisis before it happens. I'm not talking about training. I'm talking about figuring out what procedures, what new technologies, what operational capabilities might prevent the event from happening or mitigate its effects. And they have a number of ways of looking at this right now. Some use Monte Carlo simulations, data simulations. The problem with this, no human beings are involved. Others use tabletop exercises, glorified seminars. And finally, you do real-world exercises or real-world field events. And they're very limited in what they can do, very hard to control and manage. All these various approaches have their limitations. So what IMEROPEX is, it combines data science and what we call full diverse reality technology, totally immersing the operators in the environment, recreate an environment so real that it's almost traumatic, and decompose it mathematically, understand what causes what to happen, produce data to make sure those events don't happen in the real world. There's a large intersecting market related to what we're trying to do, primarily crisis management as well as insurance crisis management. There are a variety of competitors out there selling VR components. We sell an integrated capability that's patent pending called a full diverse reality unit. In addition to that, multiple companies use VR for training. Very few, if any, are using VR for crisis pre-mortems, recreating events before they happen. We're doing a lot of different things right now to raise funds, but I'd like to emphasize one thing. I'm raising money to do a pilot on school safety in Texas. And we're doing a demonstration of the capability, a product demonstration in Houston on 16 January with real law enforcement officers participating in an active shooter scenario. There's my team. There's 200 years of experience cutting across data science, VR, hardware, software, and so on. I have a group of advisors, very eclectic. You know I have a retired Major General. He's meeting with a military command in Houston right now to generate interest within DOD. We also have interest in the insurance industry, crisis management insurance in particular. I'm asking for one point. I didn't remember my ask chart here, just so you know, very important. But you have revenue, you're different. But I'm asking for $1.5 million to fund the school safety pilot that will shape and promote and market the business. We expect to have revenue up to $50 to $60 million in the next 5 or 6 years, starting with the pilot, which will generate revenue as soon as we're done. IMEROPEX is a crisis pre-mortem to understand why things happen. And that's my co-founder, Izzy Kohler, Dean Sawicki. They're the ones that helped make this thing happen. And we're anxious to raise money to do the school safety pilot, to look at issues going on right now in the newspapers. Thank you.